What's going on, guys? Master Shields here, Champions Martial Arts Center. This is Talk Tuesday, Season 2, Episode 3. On today's show, we're talking about busy schedules, kids that fight, or siblings that fight, and success. We've made it to Episode 3 of Season 2, 30,000 views in nearly 2 weeks of shows. All I can say is thank you. I am absolutely humbled that you are giving us your time, your attention, and you are loving what we're doing. So again, thank you for watching, thank you for viewing. Grab a friend, grab your kids, grab some coffee, enjoy today's show. It's going to be a great one. Lots of awesome topics. The first question that we're going to be diving into is, I have a busy schedule. How do I spend more time with my kids? The biggest thing that we all do, we all have busy schedules, busy lives, stuff. Things happen, and this is something that I battle with every single day, is how do I manage my time? As a business owner, you're constantly running around. You've got like brain ADD with business where you want to do a billion different things, and this phone call and this email and this has to happen, and you're all over the place. And so I definitely understand your struggle. You have a busy schedule, we all do, and we want to spend more time with our kids or families or significant other. And how do you do it? So we're going to go over 2 to 3 different things that are going to help us be able to spend more time with our kids. Number 1, you want to organize and schedule. We all have smartphones. We all have either an iPhone or an Android, whatever it is. On your phone, grab your phone and open up your calendar. Grab your calendar or a notepad or a schedule, or you can find them at the App Store, the Play Store, and start organizing your day. Plan out your day. If you need to do something, get up 30 minutes earlier to do that, so you have that extra 30 minutes of time to spend with your kids or your family. Scheduling and organizing is absolutely important, because again, that's going to help you get through your day, helps you plan everything, and gives you purpose for everything that you do. A lot of times we just run through our days and just do everything, and at the end of the day we're like, man, I didn't get anything done. Where did my time go? Because we just existed. We didn't really have purpose and didn't really follow through on what needed to happen. So number 1, make sure you organize and plan out your day. Literally plan everything out. I talk to parents and kids all the time that tell me, oh, we're just so busy with this and we're so busy. And so we sit down and we literally plan and schedule their day. You get up at this time, then there's this, then this, then this. From the minute you wake up to when you go to bed, what's your day look like? And you have times for each of them. And so I could talk to a child and say, hey, you've got 3 hours of stuff that you have to do, but there's a total of 6 hours extra that you have nothing going on. Where's this busyness come from? And typically once you can see it, you understand, oh, I can move things around and do this and put this here and do that. It's so much easier once you organize and schedule out your day. Number 2, you want to talk to your kids. Talk to them daily. Find things to talk about. You might be saying, hey, they just don't talk to me. I just can't get my kids to talk to me. If you have older kids or teenagers, that might be a bit of a challenge. Text them. What do kids do every single day? They're on their phones doing this all the time. This is what they have to do, right? This is their life. And so text them. Have conversations via text. Talk to them. Find things they're interested in. I'm gonna if you're interested, I've got about 100 different ways to get your kids to talk to you when they get home. If you've ever been like any parent on the planet and you've asked your kids, hey, how was school today? Fine. What'd you learn? Nothing. There's a billion different ways you can ask them that exact same question, but rephrase it to get them to actually talk to you and to get them to use their brains to make sure that they understand what's happening and what's going on, and how do you do that. So you want to talk to them, find things to talk about, have them help you with dinner, but maybe rather than helping you do it, maybe have them read off the directions or the instructions or the step-by-step planning and prepping for what you have to do. That's an easy way to get them to start talking and get them to interact with you. If they want to eat, we have to cook dinner. So here, Bobby, read me the instructions. What's step 1? Cool. Well, what do you think of that? Should we add anything else? I don't know. And now you have a conversation going on. And guess what? You're spending time with your kids. And this is the big important thing a lot of us tend to forget. It's not about the time that you're spending with your kids, it's about the quality. It's not the amount of time, it's the quality of time that you're spending with them. If you're just hanging out for 3-4 hours watching episodes of Game of Thrones or something, whatever you're watching, or House of Cards, or Fuller House, whatever you're gonna watch, if you're just watching TV, is that quality time, or is it just wasteful time? But if you guys are reading books together, if you guys are doing crossword puzzles, playing games, hanging out, going to the park, playing outside, playing in the yard, gardening, doing activities together, there's a pretty good chance you're able to spend quality time rather than quantity of time. So think about that. Number one, organize, schedule, plan out your day. Number two, talk to your kids. Get them to interact and have conversations with you, whether that's via text, whether that is having them read the dinner instructions, whatever it has to be, get them to talk. And number three, memorize that it's not about the amount of time that you spend with them, it's about the quality of time that you spend with them. Question number two, how do I get my kids to stop fighting with each other? Maybe you've got brothers and brothers, or you've got a brother and a sister, or something, whatever you have within your family. How do you get your kids to stop fighting? This happens all the time, right? And so we're going to cover 3 to 4 different things that are going to really help you stop that from happening, or at least make it smaller, or minimize what's going on. And so step number one, the reason kids fight each other is because there's a perception of favoritism. Obviously we know that there's going to be arguments, disagreements, things aren't going to go your way all the time, and kids are going to have arguments because I want to play with this toy but you won't play with this toy, and I want to do this and you don't want to do that. It happens. That's life, right? It's going to happen. So that's something that we can't really control and fix immediately, but we can definitely fix some of the other things. And so number one, you want to make sure you're not showing favoritism. A lot of times in families, the perception is mom likes this brother more than this sister, or if you have girls, mom likes the sister more than the brother, and we're always hard on the brother, and so he's angry with her, and then all kinds of chaos happens. So you want to make sure that you are being fair and you're not showing favoritism to your kids. Try and plan everything out, equalize everything where it's fair, and you're not showing favorites, and you can easily fix that first step of it, because again, they're going to fight if they feel that you like one over the other. So spend time with your kids equally. That kind of goes into number two. Make sure everything's equal and fair. Share your time, split it up, and make sure each brother or sister or each kid is getting adequate mommy and daddy time, adequate parent time, because again, that's what they ultimately want. They ultimately thrive on time with their parents, especially at the younger age. The older age, it's kind of difficult. We'll definitely get into that throughout this season, but for the younger kids, you want to spend time with them. Show them you're genuinely interested in what they're doing. Check their homework. How can I help you with your homework? What can we do together? Let's cook together. Let's do this. And make sure it's a team effort. You have multiple kids. You have a little team. You have an army of people. So have them do things together. Maybe if you're cooking dinner, have one kid on this side and then one on this side, and then this person can focus on this part of dinner, then this person's here, or you split it up. You're going to get the first half of dinner, you're going to get the second half of dinner, or you get dinner and you get dessert today, and then tomorrow you get dinner and you get dessert today, and you kind of split things up so it's equal and fair. Every kid always gets punished, and every kid always says, life's not fair, everything's not fair, what's going on? Make everything equal, balance it out, and I promise you can fix a lot of those headaches and problems that you're going to have. Number three, make sure that everything is broken down from a structural standpoint. Your home rules are important. If they don't understand what they are, don't know what the home rules are, you're going to have some issues because they don't know what is expected of them. Back in season one, we spoke about home rules and setting this out, and this really helps. If you need help writing out home rules, I've got about 11 to 12 things for you. If you want, message me and I will send that over to you. And you can really have a great set of house rules for the kids, that they understand when they walk in the house, they're supposed to say hi to their parents. When they leave the house, they're supposed to say bye to the parents. We're communicating, we're doing this, this, and this. And there's a checklist of stuff that happens daily. Make sure that you handle everything, every fight fairly, and you get to the root of it. What was the cause of you punching your brother in the face? Well, he took my toy. Well, now you know the root of that was the toy. You have to make sure that it's balanced and equal. A lot of times that kids are going to get into arguments because they feel one person has something the other person doesn't. And that's hard, because if you're buying toys nowadays, they're expensive. Back when you and I were kids, you could buy G.I. Joes for a couple bucks. Now they're like $14. You know, Barbies are like 20 bucks. Back in the day, these toys were like, you know, $5 to $6, and now they've almost tripled in price. And so it gets expensive. I was watching a Facebook video, and one of our friends, their kids, one of them had a birthday, and the parents got one of them a puppy. And he's super happy and excited and just loving this puppy. And in the background, you see the little brother just sitting there crying and super sad and upset because he didn't get a puppy. And then a week later, they had a picture of them sleeping, and guess who was holding and playing with the puppy? The little brother, and the older one didn't get the puppy time. And so it's really hard to equalize that. You can't really buy 2 puppies, especially with the puppies cost nowadays. And so you definitely want to make sure everything's fair, equalize it, make sure each person has fun stuff for themselves, that they're not going to try and say that you gave one to the other and show favoritism. Those are important things. The last one of this is going to be a bonus tip for you. Last week we spoke about a lot of different things and talked about parents saying, do as I say, not as I do. Here's a crazy thing. Your kids are going to fight and do what you do. If you are always arguing, if you're always mean, if you're always yelling, if you're always fighting, there's a pretty good chance they're going to copy you, because that's the behavior that they've seen. That's what they see on a regular basis. If you're constantly yelling and scolding them and getting in their face and being mean and aggressive and just being hurtful, there's a pretty good chance they're going to take that exact same behavior and pass it on to a brother or sister. But then now you're going to have this struggle of trying to stop them from doing that, but you have to get to the root of the issue. Step back and look and see, what are you doing on a daily basis? What is your family doing on a daily basis? What is the dynamic of the household, and what do they see constantly? Do they constantly see negativity? Do they constantly see arguing back and forth? Do they constantly see just hurtful stuff that's happening? Or do you always uplift them, find the positive in every situation? If they clean their room and they forget to do one thing, are you focused on that one thing, or do you praise them for that entirely clean room? Find out, what are you doing? What is your perception of the household? What's the dynamic? That right there can be a game changer for everything that you do. Question number 3. I'm not sure this comes from a kid or a parent or an adult, but whoever it comes from, this is a great question. I think we've all asked this question at some point in life. How do you become successful? You know, I talk to business owners and people on a daily basis, and every single person asks this question. You know, and every person has a different answer. Everybody has a different perception of success. When I was young in my 20s, I thought success was multi-million-dollar, you know, businesses and big huge mansions and big fancy cars, and I wanted to have all these cars and this and all of that. And now, you know, mid to late 30s, you're looking at things like, hey, I don't want those big fancy houses because that mortgage is going to kill me, and then all these fancy cars, man, think about the insurance and this and the maintenance fees and blah blah blah. Your perception of success will change. And so I tell every single person, your perception of success is exactly your definition of it. No one can tell you what success is other than you. My definition of success can be completely different than yours. You know, I've got one of our employees, he just wrecked his car and is looking for a new car, and he's all about BMWs and Lotuses and Lexuses, and granted, these are really cool, awesome cars. I'm looking at them, I'm like, man, these are expensive and they depreciate, and you know, what's the value in them, and just a different mindset. But when I was in my 20s, I was like, yeah, I want to get an M5, and I want this, and I want this car, and this house. And your perception of success changes. Your perception of success is whatever you make it out to be. Back when we first opened up our school, I'll never forget, one of our students walked up to me and said, Master Shields, you're successful. And I was like, no, I'm thinking, no, I'm not. We make $90 a month on profit. That's it. So we had our rent, our bills, our expenses, and I had $90 over All of that. That's it. I made 90 bucks a month. That's it. Think about how much money that is in general to how many hours you work. If you made 90 bucks a month, would you still do it? Probably not. And so I was thinking, there's no way I'm successful. That's just not true. What's going on? And this little 7-year-old broke down success for me, and I was just like, wow, I was flabbergasted by the definition. Success is what you define it. Success is happiness. He's like, you're happy, you're doing what you love, you're everything that you've wanted to be. And I was like, you know what, Seth, you're right. You are 100% right. I'm successful. So if you're asking this question, how do I become successful? Ask yourself this: am I happy? Do I love my family and my life? Am I where I want to be? And if you answer yes to that question, great, you're successful. You found success. If you're not where you want to be and you want to get to that next level, reverse engineer it. Find out where it is you want to be and work your way backwards, and I promise you, you can get to that level. You just have to make it happen. The difference between successful people and people that just kind of coast is that level of effort. People make stuff happen, or people just let stuff happen. You want to be the ones that make stuff happen, not let stuff happen. So think about that. What is your definition of success? I'm going to challenge you. Go on Facebook or social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are, and post this question and ask this question. What is the definition of success? And hashtag Talk Tuesday. I guarantee you're going to see so many different answers and so many different responses. Everyone's going to tell you a different thing. Some people think success is, again, multi-millions or billions of dollars. Some people will say success is just happiness with my family and time with my family. There's different levels of success for every single person. I've got a mentor, he makes millions and millions of dollars and all kinds of stuff. And you would think he has this big, huge, fancy house and crazy cars. He has a regular sized house, drives a Honda CR-V, nothing fancy. But he has tons and tons of money. And people think that that's not successful because of what he doesn't drive or what house he doesn't live in. But the numbers don't lie. And then I've got another mentor who makes millions of dollars, but he has a big, huge, fancy house and fancy cars. It's complete opposites. People are in different places in their lives, and you have to ask yourself, am I happy with where I'm at? And if you are happy with where you're at, you are successful. And never let someone tell you that you're not successful. That's the one thing a lot of times we forget, that our opinion matters the most. If you watched last week, what were the 2 words? Who cares? You're not successful. Who cares? I'm happy, I'm where I want to be, and I love life. That's all that matters. So if you want to be successful, follow these 3 things really quick. Follow your heart, follow your passion, and do what you love. That's it. That's the key to success. That is the success rule book, the playbook, whatever you want to call it. If you love what you do, you're great, you're successful. If you're passionate about what you're doing, you're successful. If you're happy and you're just following your dream, you're successful. I absolutely love teaching kids. I love helping people. I love being able to make a difference in people's lives. Whether that makes me $1 or $1 million or $1 billion, I don't care. That's the byproduct of what I love, of what I love doing, of what I love having happen on a day-to-day basis. If you're a nurse, think about this. A lot of us are thinking that I'm just an average Joe doing an average A thing. Think about this. You're a nurse. You're saving lives. You're helping people that are sick. And you're being a game changer for them on a daily basis. You're a dental assistant. You're keeping people's mouths clean. You're fixing problems. You're helping their teeth be perfect. You're doing all kinds of things for them. So you're serving someone and making someone's life better. You're a chef. You're a cook. You're providing food and nutrition for people. Think about what you're doing. Take a step back and look at the big picture. How am I really benefiting? What is the positivity in this particular environment? Let's say you work for Comcast. You're giving people an opportunity and an outlet to entertain themselves, rather than thinking, gosh, I have to go install this box again. I gotta talk to this person again. You get the opportunity to serve people and give them the outlet to entertain themselves. So whatever it is that you do, think about what is the positive thing, what am I really doing, and what's the big picture look like. So again, how do you get successful? Follow your heart, follow your dreams, be passionate, love what you do. And again, if you feel you're successful, you're successful. Your definition and my definition are completely different. So again, follow your heart, be happy, and live your absolute best life and be the best version of yourself, because that right there is true happiness. Hey guys, I want to say thank you for watching this week's episode of Talk Tuesday. It's been an honor to serve you. If you have any questions, please feel free to either leave them in the comments, to send us a direct message, a private message. You can Facebook us, send us a message on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, however you want. Just send us a message and ask your questions. And like always, you keep asking questions and I'll keep answering them.